Hey, pretty kitties! Welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, an RPG podcast built for two. I am your host, as always, Jeff Stormer. This week I'm joined by Kasey Van Hise for a game of John Wick's Cat, a little game of little heroes. Kasey is the writer of Hustle Cat, a newly released visual novel that tells the story of a mysterious and magical cat cafe full of cursed, cute, and very smoochable employees. John Wick's Cat tells the story of what your feline friend is up to when you're not paying attention, which, as it turns out, is battling shadow demons based on human anxieties. It's a fun, spooky, family-friendly game that you should absolutely check out. Links to both games can be found in the show notes. Before we get started, I wanted to take a few moments and talk about a few Kickstarters that are currently running that I think you should check out. I should specify, these are not paid advertisements. These are just things that I'm interested in that, for some reason or another, don't fit quite into the format of the show, so I figured I'd talk a little bit about them up front. First up is Singularity by Josh Jordan and Caitlin Bell. Singularity is a transhumanist dating sim for 5 players. Players act out the most popular dating show in the galaxy, set in a distant future when a human body has become optional. Josh and Caitlin are wonderful game designers. Josh designed Heroin, a game that I'm a very big fan of, and Caitlin designed Our Radios Are Dying, which you'll hear on the show in a few weeks. And writers for the game include wonderful people like Elsa Henry and friend of the show Jared Axelrod. It's not a game that fits with our current show format because it's got 5 players, but it's a game that I've really wanted to highlight, so please go check it out. Secondly, check out Girls Heist Out by Robbo Wieland and Manuela Soriani. If you're a listener of the show, you'll recognize Rob's name as the designer of Pay-Per-View, the Fate wrestling hack we used in our first episode. Well, he's written a heist comic with an all-girl cast, and it looks really cool, and you should check it out. Links to both those Kickstarters can also be found in the show notes. Interested in coming on Party of One as a guest? Shoot me an email at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. This invitation is specifically open to people of all genders, ethnicities, sexualities, ages, and experience levels. In short, if you love games, like I love games, I really want to hear from you. And with all that out of the way, let's throw it over to me in the past so he can get things rolling.
Thanks, Future Me. I am super excited this week to be joined by Kasey Van Hise. Kasey, how you doing?
Good. How's it going over there?
It's going really, really well. I am super happy to get you on the show. This is going to be super fun. Because I realized that despite the fact that we've known each other for a decade, I don't think we've ever played a tabletop game together.
We have not. I was thinking about that earlier today. I feel like this has been a really long time in the making. So
yeah, it really has, and I'm super excited about it. And speaking of things that are long times in the making, I want to talk about Hustle Cat up front because
yes.
I'm just so excited that it's finally out.
Me too. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, Hustle Cat is a game that I wrote. My best friend, Lindsay Woods, who you also know, maybe we could get her on here to play sometime, was the artist. And I worked on this game, I think, for about 3 years. And now I don't know what to do with my life.
Well, I saw you announced it on Twitter. I don't know if that announcement is still active, but isn't Winters and Lavelle coming back?
It is, yeah. I'll be bringing that back next.
I'm just as excited about that. I was actually just today looking at... well, why don't you talk a little bit about Winters and Lavelle, and then I'll ramble about the thing I was looking at.
Yeah, Winters and Lavelle is my old webcomic. I ran it from 2009 to about 2013 nonstop, and then I took a couple years off, and now I'm going to be bringing it back, albeit maybe not as a comic this time. I'm still I'm going back and forth on that right now, but it's a fantasy adventure. It's very Narnia. It's like a modern Narnia, I guess. It's about kids who go into a fantasy world.
I've been a big fan of it for years and years. Earlier today, I was just looking at the 2 copies of Volume 1 that Jen and I have on our bookshelf. They're one of the only things that we didn't get rid of when 2 copies when we moved in together, because we have the sketches in the middle the sketches in the cover that we were so happy with.
Oh, thank you.
It's lovely.
Thank you. I'll give you a Hustle Cat sketch. I'm sure you saw on my character sheet. I drew a little.
I did. I'm going to post that on Twitter with your permission because it is fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
So we are playing this week. We're playing John Wick's Cat, very appropriately, because it is a game about little heroes fighting little monsters. It is a game of cats going on magical adventures, and I'm very, very excited because the adventure we're going to be playing is a Hustle Cat prequel.
Yes.
I'm so excited about it.
I was delighted when you told me that was the plan. I was so excited about that. And I was already really excited about this game. So I think this is going to be, I think it's going to be some good times.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So you are going to be playing Mochi the cat.
Yes, yeah. Mochi is the main character of Hustle Cat's cat. He's a Persian. He's a little. They're quite fond of calling him a fat sack of cat food. So he's just fat and spoiled and kind of dumb. So that sounds like the type of character that I like to play in tabletop games anyway. So it seemed perfect.
Yeah, it's fan. Yep, I feel you, and I'm looking at Mochi's character sheet. So a little bit about the backstory of Cat is it's a game that takes place equally in our world and the dream world. The story is that every 1,000 years, all of the animals in the world gather in the dream world for one great contest. The winner of that contest gets the powers of magic, but it comes with a price that they have to then protect the animal that ranked worst in the contest. Cats won, dogs got second place, and in the bottom place was people. So cats have a 1,000-year role to protect people from monsters, most of which are manifestations of human anxiety and negative emotion. So while humans might know Mochi the cat is Mochi, he actually also has 2 additional names, and I'm going to ask you for one of them right now. What is Mochi's other name?
Mochi's name among cats is Mufflewort.
He also has a third name that is none of our business, and we'll never know it because it is a secret name that is his and his alone, and it is the source of his magical power.
That's right.
Now, the last thing that I want to ask you a little bit about is there are certain reputations among cats that they collect, that they share among other cats that give them sort of fame and they draw on in moments of great need. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about some of the reputations that Mochi has picked up among other cats.
He has 6, in no particular order here. I don't think I could rank these. He's a good sleeper boy. He is quite accomplished at taking naps. Probably has some cool dreams.
Which is a useful skill in the game Cat.
That's kind of what I was thinking, actually. He's probably pretty good at that. He is a connoisseur. He's a gourmand. He has very refined tastes and can pick up the tastes in food pretty easily. So if there's something off in there that shouldn't be there, he would be able to pick up on that. He ate a lizard once. I don't think that has any benefit, but he did.
It might come up.
He's pretty proud of that. He is known as a fly swatter. He is the scourge of houseflies. Avery probably knows him as the Iron Wall because he will not go anywhere that he doesn't want to go, which is probably fun taking him to the vet. And he's laser smart because he figured out how laser pointers work, and he doesn't chase them anymore because he knows just a little.
That's very impressive for a cat because I've never seen a cat. I've never seen a cat not go crazy for a laser pointer. Cool. Well, cool. I think that with all that, I think we're ready to get started with the game. I think so. The game begins. Our story begins with Avery. Which actually, why don't you talk a little bit about who Avery is for listeners who aren't familiar with Hustle Cat?
Sure. Avery is the main character of Hustle Cat. In the game, you can select Avery's pronouns and Avery's appearance. They are somebody who just graduated high school recently, is from a little rural town, wants to make it big in the city, so they decide to house sit for their Aunt Wendy while she is traveling in like Europe or something. So Avery's trying to find a job and watching the house, which is really just an excuse because like I don't know if anybody would trust Avery to watch anything.
That's fair.
While they're in the city. So
okay, yeah, that was I realized that was my first question that I meant to ask and then absolutely didn't until we were already recording. But I wanted to ask what pronouns we wanted to use for Avery in this particular game. Do we want to stick with they?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's been about 3 weeks since Avery has moved into Aunt Wendy's apartment.
Okay.
And Avery's looking for a job. And for the first maybe 2 weeks that they've been in the apartment, Mochi has noticed that they were really committing with, full gusto of somebody that has just started the job hunt. They were sending out, going, looking up all the listings. They were really committed. But in the last week, and this is just the background before the thing starts, in the last week, Avery has really seemed to lose that gusto. And that's understandable. It's, job hunting is an exhausting experience. But in the last few days, Avery has sort of taken on a real interest in, feigning at job hunting, but really, sitting around, eating junk food, looking at the TV, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So our story begins in earnest on a Friday morning. A Friday morning around 2:30 p.m. Or so I guess Friday afternoon. Avery's morning, because Avery wakes up at the crack of noon every day.
Yep.
So what is Mochi doing on a Friday afternoon at 2:30 p.m.?
Sleeping in that little square of sunlight that hits just right at that time of day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's that perfect spot of sunlight.
Yep.
Okay, so, well then in that case, we begin play in the dream world.
Ooh.
Mochi seems to wake up from a nap. Also, I should ask Mochi's pronouns. I didn't ask for...
He.
Yeah,
He,
Mochi,
yeah,
he looks around, gets a handle of the room, because in the dream world, even though things ostensibly look like they do in the real world, they can take on it's a dream. They can take on anything.
Mm-hmm.
He looks around, and he notices the apartment looks similar to the way it does normally, except all of the things that sort of attract themselves to Avery, all the junk that kind of surrounds him on a day-to-day basis. He notices the smallest bits of a silky webbing on them. Things are connected by razor thin laser thin strands of webs.
That doesn't sound great.
He pokes around a bit. Yeah, and he sees all of them, and he sort of pans his eyes around the room, and they all the webs seem to get a bit more thick and a bit more abundant around where the couch is, where Avery sleeps.
Okay.
At that moment, Avery is greeted by the smell of food, which wakes him from his slumber.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, Mochi is greeted by the smell of food and wakes him from his slumber.
Time to get up.
Avery has ordered a pizza.
Oh, crap. Oh, it's time.
He takes the pizza, he puts it on the highest counter, grabs a slice on a paper plate, and sits back on the couch.
Think.
So we're gonna make our first tail. Make me a tail roll.
Okay.
So you're gonna roll. Your tail is strong, so you're gonna roll 4 d6.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me how many even numbers you get.
Okay. Let's see what we got. 1.
Actually, and then roll me one more because of you're such a good sleeper boy. You might be able to interpret that dream with added clarity.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 2.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you what you discern, and then you can ask me one additional question.
Okay.
If you have a question in mind. You wake up, you look around, and all the spider webs that you saw are gone. What that tells you, the red flag that raises for you, is that something not of this world, something of the dream world, a boggin, as they are called, has started to take up residence in the apartment. You can't be certain of what sort of boggin, but it's something to be aware of.
Okay.
So if you have an additional question, or if you just want me to tell you an additional factoid, I can do that.
Well, I think my question was going to be, what is it? But if I don't know that, then
I can give you I can take that in a direction if you'd like, or if you have something else in mind. I can certainly lead you in that direction.
Yeah, I was going to say either that or would I have any hints of where it would have come from? How it would have gotten there?
Yes, you do. Like I said, you noticed in the dream that there were sort of congregated on the couch. And the thing you know about boggins is they all begin their existence as the tiniest glimmer of the tiniest shred of a shadow.
Okay.
And the way that they work is they gravitate towards a strong emotional state, particularly negative emotional states, and that sort of helps them that sort of helps them find a physical form through, and then after that they feed on that physical state, which allows them to become greater and greater threats. So while you're not yet sure what it is, you can probably guess that the stress that Avery's been feeling and the sort of, I guess, the sloth they've been feeling of job hunting has attracted an entity that has started to make itself known in the apartment.
I see. Okay.
But all of that right now is a secondary concern because there's pizza on a counter.
You're damn right there is.
So what is Mochi's next action?
Get the pizza.
All right.
I'm gonna jump.
How does he get the pizza? He's going to jump?
He's gonna jump for it.
Okay.
His legs are okay. They're okay.
Okay. So make me a legs roll.
Okay, and that's 3.
You just need one success.
Okay. So 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
Evens?
Yes.
Okay, you got it. Nope. That was 0.
So what has happened is Mochi has leapt for the pizza, but the counter was just a little bit higher. So you can do one of two things. You can grab hold of the counter with your claws and hang there. From there, you can make the next action of trying to either land gracefully or get help or something else. Or you can land safely, but the pizza goes flying, and Avery is not going to be happy with you.
Ooh, this is a toughie. So if I grab it, I could try to pull myself up? Is that what you're saying?
If you grab at the counter, you can lock your claws into the counter and then scramble your way up or cry helplessly or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it and then try to scramble up.
Okay. So roll me a claws or a legs roll, which I guess are both good. So roll me a fangs roll. No, okay. Claws. Yeah, claws roll. Yeah, claws.
Okay, gotcha. Come on, evens. 3.
Perfect. You not only perfect. So you scramble your way up. Not only do you scramble your way up, but in the time that it takes Avery to pick up on this calamitous display of meowing and scratching and kicking, you have successfully gotten a hunk of hot melty cheese.
Yes, that's what I'm here for. So it is a good day. Yes.
Make me now. I'm going to ask for a fangs roll, and you can add the point or points from your connoisseur.
Ooh, okay.
Reputation.
1 point, so that'll be 5.
And you want 2 successes.
All right. I got 3.
Okay, so yeah, you're eating this cheese, and the initial sensation is it's cheese, so it's the best. Because people and cats alike, cheese is the best.
Yeah, I was like, I think I roll a natural 20 on all of my cheese checks, so...
we should all just be so lucky as to roll natural 20s on our cheese checks.
Seriously.
But as you're eating it, it suddenly strikes your palate. There's an aftertaste to it. There's a foul aftertaste to it. Something is wrong with this cheese. Actually, what you notice is it's not with the cheese itself. There's something almost imperceptibly on top of the cheese. And as you narrow your eyes to look at the pizza, you see it's on top of the entire pizza. Something has put an invisible to the eye, only perceptible to someone that is connected to the dream. There's a layer of venom on this pizza.
Ooh, do not like that.
Something has been injecting venom into this food.
No.
Yeah. Avery, they're scarfing down the pizza. They finally have picked up on that you're on the counter eating the cheese. And Mochi, get out of here! Get down!
No. Okay.
Does Mochi get down, or does Mochi stand strong?
Mochi is going to stand strong, and can I try to knock the pizza off the counter?
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a claws roll.
Okay. I was gonna say if there is venom in this pizza, then I'm gonna have to eat it for the good of everybody to save Avery, of course.
Yeah.
2.
Okay, you do knock it off. Avery tries to stop you and just watches the pizza slowly fall.
No! Can I roll to see if it lands cheese down?
I paid $15 for that pizza. Oh, Mochi. And by the time they have begun to admonish you, you are already eating more of this cheese.
Of course.
You notice, so because you were aware of the venom, you can sort of, you're able to detect what it does to you, and your body actually fights it off. That's the final success from your successful cheese roll earlier.
Nice.
What you notice is as you're eating it, cheese always makes you a little sleepy because it's cheese and you're a cat.
Mhm. Yeah.
And everything makes you a little sleepy. But suddenly you don't just feel sleepy, you feel lethargic. You don't even feel like going back into the sun. You kind of just want to sit. You kind of just want to sit on the couch. You kind of really just want to sit on the couch and like let the bask in the glow of the TV and let the day wash away with you. And you see Avery finish their slice, and you see them like look at their computer with the job windows and kind of be like, I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to watch some TV.
Do I need to like fight off the cheese? Or
It would be that would probably be a good idea, is to do something to keep Avery from indulging in this lethargy.
okay.
You get a sense that that's probably the right idea, at least until you can figure out exactly what it is, so you can fight it more specifically.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I am gonna cause a ruckus.
Okay.
Well, I think my question more specifically was like, I have fought this off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You
I'm-
successfully fought it off because you were able, because your connection to the dream, you were able to sort of. It's kind of like knowing that something is happening to your head, and you have the sort of the magical ability to like shake it off.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I am going to knock everything off the coffee table in a slide, like a slide for home.
Yeah. So I'm going to call that a coat roll.
Okay.
As sort of you're rolling across the table.
Yeah.
Getting attention, that sort of thing.
Yeah, with my beautiful, beautiful long fur.
Yeah.
All right.
Making a ruckus.
Yep. I'm gonna make a ruckus roll. That's 5, right?
Yeah.
That is my best.
He's such a naughty cat, and I love it so much.
What a saucy lad. All right. Well, my cheeky boy got 3 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, you successfully. Avery has settled in. They've settled in for a TV binge watch. They've pulled up Netflix, and in that moment, crash, bang, pow. They look over, and the coffee table, all of the things, all of the soda bottles and books and things are all on the floor, and Mochi is on his back, belly up, like, hey, I'm being good now, even though I just did something naughty.
Just mugging a real cute, paws up.
Yeah.
Looking like a calendar spread.
And Avery, they're mad at you for a hot minute because you did knock a bunch of, but no one can resist cat belly.
That's right.
I implore the listeners of Party of One to tweet at me if you can resist a cat belly so I can call you a liar on Twitter.
You know what? Add me to that.
Yeah. Tweet us both, and we can both call you a liar.
I want to know who out there is a faker and a hater.
Yes. So they're rubbing your belly. Are you letting them rub your belly? Or are you clawing at them?
Ooh, this is the famous trap. I feel like this is my responsibility as a cat to go for the bite.
Okay.
Not hard, just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's gotta get a little rowdy.
In fact, make me a fangs roll.
Okay.
To keep from biting them too hard.
Okay. 2, 3. Sorry, that 4 is an even number.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect. The two of you play for a very, very long time. And by the time you're done, it's maybe been a half hour, like a solid half hour of this, which is pretty impressive for a cat.
Yeah.
Avery, they stand up afterwards and they give a very contented sigh. Well, we can't play forever, Mochi, though I would love to. I got a little bit of job hunting to do. And they pull open a few more Greg's List ads. They fill out a few applications. The rest of the day goes swimmingly.
Nice.
Avery passes out on the couch, leaving you alone in the apartment to explore.
And explore I shall.
So
First
what
off-
are... Oh, yeah, just go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, first off, I'd like to see if there's any cheese stuck under the counter.
Okay. There is a little bit of cheese left under the counter. The venom has run off of it, and it's just good cheese.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, I don't even care if there's venom, if it's dried to the floor. Like, this is my
get that cheese.
duty. Get it. All right. Yes. Gonna do it. Okay. Next, I'm going to investigate the kitchen, see if there's anything going on in there.
Okay.
See if there are any kibbles on the floor, that kind of thing.
Sure. I assume that was just part of the investigation.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think this is a face roll. I believe that's what you use face for.
Yeah, yes. I think it's like sensory.
Face is your sensory center, yeah.
Okay. So that is a 4. I feel like that should have been my best trait. Well,
he's got a good face.
Yeah, right.
He's got a good cranky kitty face.
Can't fight that beautiful, beautiful coat made of diamonds. That is
scruff his face.
Right? Mush it. I got a 1 on that one.
Okay, so the downside of only rolling 1 success is you don't find any kibble.
No.
I know. But
what was even the point of this?
But what you've come to notice is Avery has always attracted junk. That's just a thing about them, right?
Absolutely.
Avery, things sort of gravitate towards them. They don't normally gravitate this much stuff. That's what's weird right now, is there's more junk and refuse around Aunt Wendy's than there normally would be. You're pretty familiar with Avery's junk collecting, or junk attracting. Mm-hmm. It's usually not this bad, and it's usually not... The weird thing is that it's not food that you would eat, but there's more like leftover food scattered around than normal.
Is this food I remember seeing Avery get, or is this just like weird food from somewhere else?
Mostly it's food you remember Avery getting, but
okay.
Actually, I'm going to say it's all food you remember Avery getting, but the thing that stands out is it's not food you remember them getting before maybe like a week ago.
Okay. So it's not just like there's like mystery foie gras hanging out or something like that.
Mystery foie gras is the name of my novel.
Good. Okay, that makes sense.
No, there's no mystery foie gras, but there is like... Avery got really into Charleston chews a week ago. Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like a few days ago, Avery was like, I think I'm into Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
No! There's something wrong.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that type of stuff around. Okay. Junk food specifically, that they have not eaten in the past.
Okay.
So things are increasingly seeming out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Does Mochi do anything else tonight?
Did Avery bother to... I'm going to go investigate the living room area. Did Avery bother to pick up the stuff that I had knocked over previously?
Some of it. I'm going to say some of it. Like the hard goods they picked up, the other stuff has still been scattered about.
Okay.
Like the empty soda can. Like the empty soda can is still on the floor. And that's a little odd that they've only picked up like 70% of the stuff.
Yeah.
You'd think if they took the time to clean, they would clean more.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay, and Avery's asleep on the couch right now?
Yeah.
Do I notice anything...
asleep.
Okay, do I notice anything unusual about them?
Not in this world, no.
Okay. I think...
They seem to be... I wouldn't say it's out of the ordinary, but they seem, like, out. Like, they crashed.
Okay. Just wild pizza night.
Terribly out of the ordinary, yeah.
Okay. I think that's about it.
Okay. So, Mochi drifts to sleep, briefly enters the dream again, back in the living room. You see more, like you look around, you see even more of the spider webs are filling the room. Make me a tail roll.
Okay. 3.
And roll one more dice for the sleeper boy.
Oh, good sleeper boy. That's one more. So that was 4, I
Okay.
believe?
Yeah. Okay, great. So what happens is you see something, but it doesn't see you right away. You see more of these webs scattered about, and you see a lot of webs, a worrying amount of webs, are around Avery on the couch. And what you see just before you wake up is a spider, a very large spider, about the size of a dog.
Ooh, I don't like that. Ugh.
Yeah, spreading webs around the apartment, and it skitters over to where some of the Charleston chews that were left on the floor, like a half-eaten Charleston chew. You see it scuttle over it, grab it, and it starts to look in your direction, and then you wake up.
Ugh.
But it did not. But you woke up and you're out of the dream before it looked over in your direction.
Ugh.
But you
Don't
gotta
like that.
look at a thing in the apartment.
Okay. That sounds pretty terrible. Dog spiders are not my favorite thing in the world. Would I know what the dog spider is?
Yes, make me a tail roll. I will tell you what it
Okay.
is regardless, but you'll get a number of additional things based on your
Sweet.
number of successes.
Does this include Good Sleeper Boy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And your fly swatter. So roll one additional
Ooh.
dice on top of that
Okay.
because it's a bug, and bugs are eaten.
I actually, well, let me roll one more because I just rolled 0. It's still 0. That was
Okay.
all odds.
So you know what it is. Now the mission becomes. So you know what it is. Now the mission becomes figuring out like how to beat it. Now the mission becomes you have to like find ways to research it and beat it.
Okay.
You are facing what is called a heavy. A heavy is a boggin. A heavy is a boggin that feeds on lethargy. Specifically, it feeds on the kind of lethargy where you just want to give up and like binge watch TV. That kind of lethargy of the easy comfort food of TV or the internet or cat videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a heavy is after. It uses that to draw you into its web and then inject fill the world with its venom, and then eventually lay its eggs and breed more heavies.
Oh, I don't like that idea. That works really well. This is like a warm, dark area where spiders would grow anyway. Seeing as how lazy Avery is already, so I almost wonder why I didn't think about this before. So, how would I go about this? Is a little too direct, I think, but
Sure. No,
how would I go about researching this? Like, do I go on cat Wikipedia or?
So the one thing you know is, like I said, you know it feeds on lethargy. So the first and foremost thing is you have to keep Avery from allowing themselves to get lethargic or lazy or binge TV watchy. The two best ways you're going to have to research it and to learn how to beat it and to learn what its habits are either to go into the dream and observe it, but then you risk being seen by it.
Okay.
Or to reach out to other cats and like talk to them.
Okay.
At which point they might know something.
Okay. That sounds good. I want to go talk to some other cats. That sounds pretty good.
Okay.
But first, I am going to jump on Avery to wake them up.
Okay. It is about 11 a.m.
Okay.
So it's before their normal wake up time.
Early wake up, yeah.
So make me a. I'm going to say especially because of these ethereal spider webs, you succeed at jumping on them automatically.
Okay.
So what I need you to make is either make me a coat roll.
Okay.
To convince them not to be mad at you.
Okay. Gotta give them that fat flat face. That is 1.
So they're not happy with you.
That's fine.
They're up and about. They don't go back to bed, so you succeed at waking them up and keeping them up. But now they are rather pointedly ignoring you, trying to punish you for what you did.
Oh, no. I was kind of hoping they were going to chase me.
No. Because you landed on them, and they gave you like, Mochi, why? Ow. Oh, no, I'm up. I'm up now. Great, I'm up. Thanks. And they're like fixing themselves some breakfast, pointedly not looking at you when you're being cute.
Rude.
I know.
The belly thing didn't work?
The belly thing is not even working right now.
Wow. What do I even do? Well, I know what I do, and it's get as underfoot as I possibly can. Because I'm a cat, and that's what you do.
Yep.
All right.
Roll me a legs roll.
Will do. 0.
Okay. Yep. They step right over you.
Wow, it didn't even.
Or they do this. Oh, they do the. Oh, you know what they do? Oh, I know exactly what they do. They nudge you. They just nudge you.
Wow.
They give you the walk by nudge with the foot. Like, nah, get out of here. Get out of here.
Wow, this is not working.
And then they're just right on the couch, remote in hand, like TV. Not even looking at their computer for their email or anything.
Wow.
Just nudging them off.
Can't even. How are they sitting? Can I do the thing where I walk across their lap a couple of times?
Yeah, you can. Make me another coat roll.
All right.
See if you can get back in their good graces.
Yeah, make some biscuits. I'll make some biscuits on their lap. 3.
Okay. Yep. That is definitely a success. They put up a hell of a fight. They're just looking over you. Eventually they cross their arms real pointedly, like, I'm not looking. I'm not looking, and then they start giggling, and pretty soon they're scratching behind your ear and they're mushing your face. So you have won them back over.
Good. Okay, good. Now it's back to mugging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you spend some good mugging time. You lift their spirits. They do hop on the laptop for some job hunting. So they're diligently working. So you are left to your devices for a little while.
Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna go try to find some other cats to talk to.
Okay. So the best place to do that is going to be right along the windowsill or the landing.
Okay.
And it's going to what's up?
I was gonna say, I'll go for the windowsill.
Yeah. So make me a face roll.
Okay.
And see what you see.
That is 1. I got a 1.
Okay. You do see what you see is an old cat on a trash can down below.
Oh, the aesthetic.
Yeah, he's an old stray cat. He's all scraggly, but he's scraggly, but he doesn't look unhappy. Like this is a lifer by choice.
Okay. This is the life you chose.
Yeah. There's nowhere that he'd rather be than out like hunting on the street.
Okay.
He's not a house cat.
Okay. Cool.
So now I'm going to ask how Mochi gets this cat's attention to talk with them.
Why did I eat all the cheese? Is there anything I can offer him? Any kibbles, or does he like Charleston chews?
There's Charleston chews.
All right.
There is also Avery bought you the other day a jingly cat toy.
Ooh.
If you can, the window is open a little bit. So if you can grab that jingly cat toy and, for lack of a better term, throw it out the window, it'll get his attention, and he'll come meet you. If not in the real world, in the dream.
Ah, that's right. Can I throw some Charleston chews instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but either way, make me a legs roll. This one's going to be a little bit easier than throwing the jingly cat toy.
Okay. All right.
But if you roll 0, it might backfire in that the cat has no interest in Charleston chews.
You never know.
You never know. So you just need 1 success.
I got 1.
Perfect. You throw it. The cat is not amused. It looks down and it sees it's a Charleston chew, and its ears go back.
Oh no!
Because no being of good nature likes Charleston chews.
Okay, well I'll also offer it the jangly cat toy.
Oh well, it looks up at you with recognition. It knows that you want to talk, so you don't have to offer it the toy. It's just not happy that there's that Charleston chews are in play because they're Charleston chews.
Well, now it knows how serious the situation is.
It's true. So you see it on the trash can lid. You see it like curl up in a ball and go to sleep. And that's a pretty clear indicator of what you need to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a.
Rather than try to sneak out of the house to talk to it directly.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a great idea. Okay. I'm gonna flop down right there.
Okay. So you curl up in that one spot with the perfect sunlight, and suddenly you are in what appears to be a green springtime meadow
Ooh.
that is covered in trash cans and open trash bags.
This is my style.
The other cat steps out from one of the trash bags. Look at all this trash! Isn't this perfect?
This is beautiful.
This is my paradise.
Where are the pizza boxes?
Oh, you immediately both find a pizza box, and you're going down on it.
Yeah. This is the good life. Why don't I do this?
It looks up at you. So, what's important enough that you're going to throw a Charleston chew at me?
My house is full of them. I need to get rid of them, and I need to get rid of this fighter dog, this heavy.
Oh, a heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you came to the right person. Old Scraggles. He's your man for hunting boggins.
That's what I was hoping for.
That's why I like being on the street. I like hunting them, going from place to place, town to town. Also, there's a lot of trash on the street.
We need more cats like you, my good friend.
So make me first, but for now, make me a tail roll. Increase it by the sleepy boy.
Okay.
As also an additional 2.
Ooh. Okay. So
as he is assisting, as Scraggles is assisting you in this endeavor.
Oh, sweet. Okay, let me do this. I was hoping I had 2 more d6s handy, but I'm lazy and don't roll twice. Okay. That is 4 so far, and I'm going to roll 2 more. 6.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect. You're talking. He starts to tell you when a shadow passes overhead. You both, or Scraggles immediately, he nods with his head. He's dead silent at this moment. And you both, you follow and you both duck into a trash can. This trash can is larger than any trash can you've ever seen. Like, it's dream big.
It's beautiful.
I know, right? You see the shadow pass in front of you, and you see the spider drop down and look around, and it feels with its hair, and then it skitters off again. You were unnoticed. So that's what you do. Okay, that's a big heavy. It's not the biggest. It hasn't started growing eggs yet. So you're. This is a good time to strike on it before it gets out of hand.
Okay, good. That's what I like to hear.
The thing to do with a heavy is the best way to stop them, because fighting them directly is tricky. You can. They don't have claws. You do. So you've got one up on them. But they have fangs, and those fangs are dangerous. And they have a web, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't like that.
If you want to take the direct approach, that's an option. But the other way to go, and this requires a bit more cooperation from your owner. I'm sorry, that's not the right word. From the person that you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I forget
I
that
understand. Life on the street.
freedom of the streets, it sometimes colors the way I speak.
It's all relative.
You gotta. This takes a little bit more cooperation from the person that you're protecting. You can starve out the heavy. See, the thing is, heavy doesn't just like lethargy. It's a spite. It likes sugar, so it tries to take sugary garbage food. But it's also a scavenger, so it won't take fresh food. It won't take fresh sweets. It needs to eat leftover sugary junk food.
Oh, I might as well just attack it head on. This is going to be impossible.
So your 2 options: attack it head on, or through a mixture of the real world and the dream world, convince the person you're living with to throw out their Charleston chews and Mountain Dew game fuels.
Well, I've seen miracles happen before. Might as well give it a shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to talk them down.
Okay.
At least that way I've got a backup plan.
You still have the backup plan. You've got 2 plans.
That's right.
This is a good backup plan. Now, you have the option, you can choose whether or not you want to use it, of contacting Avery in a dream tonight. That's always an option.
Okay.
Cats can speak to humans in dreams. Or, so if you want to level with them, that's a good way to do it. Or you can just, through cat trickery and cat magic, find a way to get them to clean their house.
I don't think I have enough trickery in the world for that. Let's try the direct approach.
Okay. So the last thing I need for the day, make me a face roll once you wake up,
Okay.
just to see if there's anything you can do before Avery goes to sleep.
Okay. That is a 1.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of food like on the floor that you can kind of not sweep up, but like bat around at least to get their attention and be like, what is this? So make me a coat roll.
Okay.
You have to, but you need 3 successes.
Okay. Let's do this.
And I'm seeing if there's anything you can add to that. You add either laser smart or connoisseur, one or the other. So add 1 or 2, depending.
Okay. There was a 1. I got 1 success.
Okay. It works a little bit.
Okay.
But okay, yeah. Then we enter into a potential climax, but also just a potential third act moment.
All right. We'll see how this goes.
The dream. Where does Mochi? So the way that dreams tend to work when they're shared between multiple people is they tend to happen in locations that are familiar to both parties. So where does Mochi reach out to Avery? What is the shared space that they are both immediately comfortable in?
I'm gonna say their childhood bedroom.
Okay. So in Avery's dream, they are in their childhood bedroom. They are playing with their toys. And Mochi walks through the door. Which is odd because at this point, Avery probably didn't have Mochi, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Depends on Avery's age, I'd say. They probably had Mochi for maybe 2 years. So if they're any younger than that,
Mochi's still probably much older than Avery is used to at that moment in their life.
Yeah.
Also, Avery looks down and they are fully grown. So being in their childhood bedroom is a little odd, but they're still at that level of dream comfort with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, Kat, what's going on? Are you here to knock something over again, or?
I am actually here to speak to you about that because you need to stop knocking things over.
What am I knocking over? I didn't knock anything over.
I think that pile at Charleston Chews in the corner says otherwise.
You both make me a tail roll.
Okay.
Yeah, and add 1. Make me a tail roll plus 1.
Okay. That is 3.
Yep, there is a mountain of half-eaten Charleston Chews in the corner as you both look over. Oh, I did knock that over. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I'll pick that up.
It's okay. We all do it from time to time. I mean, I certainly can't throw stones.
That's true. You knock a lot of things over.
I do. It's kind of fun, so I get it. But
it is fun.
Yeah, we gotta work on this though. I mean, before we know it, it'll be Laffy Taffy, and then
Laffy Taffy's good though. It's not good.
It's not good. See, this is what I mean. I think we need to go back to the old classics, like the fun size Snickers bars. I could get behind that. I mean, I can't eat it because it's chocolate, but I understand.
It's chocolate. Cats can't have chocolate.
Yeah. So I think maybe you're branching out in some ways that they're not really working for you. So maybe
that's true. You're making some good points, Kat. Yeah. I should listen. We should talk more often. We should do this more often.
We should. I like that idea. But
at that moment, a skittering noise comes from outside of the door. And you hear hissing, "Stay out of your business! Stay out of my business, cat!" And the shadow comes across the door and the skittering starts. What's that? Is that... I'm sleepy. I want to sit and watch TV.
Don't you even worry about it. I'm going to take care of this. I believe this was my business first.
Okay. So now are you staring? Are you having a stare down?
Yes.
Is this a stare down?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Make me a coat roll.
All right.
As you flash your big coat.
I'm going to do it. Puff it out. Puff out that tail. That is a 4.
Okay. So the spider, which is bigger than it was previously, like it's getting bigger, is staring at you. And you puff up and you say, "This was my business," and it starts to back down for a second, and it says, "This is my life. This is what I do. If I see you in the dream tomorrow, it will be war." So, it skitters off. You have scared off the heavy for the day. The two of you wake up at the crack of noon. Avery with a yawn, and they give you a look of faint recognition, but then they like shake it off. And they're like, "That was a weird dream. I should probably clean up this place. This is a mess."
Nice.
So that's exactly what they do. They clean up. They stretch again. Oh, it's about 2 p.m. now. It took a while because it's a messy apartment.
Yeah.
And they don't clean up all the way, but they take your advice and they throw out like the leftover food.
They brought it back to like the usual mess pile.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'd be more concerned if it was 100% turnaround. So like 75% is that's okay with me.
Yeah. There's no Charleston shoes anymore. Like
Good.
they've thrown them out.
No,
They actually
no Necco
there's
wafers.
a moment when they open the fridge to grab one, and they're like, I don't know why I bought so many of these. And they like throw it out.
I'm picturing a fridge full of them.
Yeah.
Oh god, and like a counter covered in Necco wafers and like circus
Oh no!
nuts.
I don't think we've not dropped that low yet.
Oh,
That's
good.
when you know it's worst is when the
yeah.
Necco wafers show up.
Yeah, we made it in time.
Because I feel like not even somebody like high on spider venom is going to look at a Necco wafer and go, "Yum."
You know it's a lost cause at that point.
Yeah, that's the end game.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the
it.
game over screen.
Yeah, and bunch of
Game over screen is Avery just popping Necco wafers.
Yeah, how'd you know? That's one of the bad ends.
Necco wafers.
Ugh, right?
So Avery's cleaned this up. They've picked up the apartment about as much as they can reasonably pick up the apartment. It's not much, but enough.
You know.
Yeah, so now the next challenge is Avery looks around. They're real proud of themselves, which is, again, weird because they didn't pick up that much.
Yeah. You know what, though? I get it. When you're like, I got that soda can.
Yeah.
I did a good job today. You gotta have goals.
Gotta have goals.
All right, well, I'm proud of them.
Puff their chest out and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna take a me day. I'm gonna watch some TV. And they like kick their feet up. And even though you're not in the dream, like your tail like spikes up and starts to shake, and you just hear like a hiss as they flip through the Netflix like recommended things, and a hiss and like a starve me if you might, but if once this binge watch is over, by the time Daredevil is done,
Avery, no.
by the time Daredevil is done, they will be mine.
No, and then it's all Fuller House from there. I can't let this happen. It's time.
It's
time
a slippery slope.
Mm-mm.
So the big thing, the make or break moment is, can you get Avery to resist the allure of the Netflix original series Marvel Comics Presents Daredevil?
I'm gonna knock the damn Roku off the TV.
All right, make me this is gonna be 3 rolls.
All right.
Any one of these, this is gonna be a legs roll to dive at the Roku.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
A claws roll to knock it over, and then a coat roll because Avery's gonna be real mad.
You know, that's fine. That's fine with me. Okay, legs, I got 2. You said claws for the next one?
Yep.
Claws, I got 1.
Okay.
And coat, I got 2.
Okay. So what happens? Mochi dives at the Roku and runs full speed. It's almost slow motion as Avery like drops, "Mochi, no!" Avery reaches out. Mochi hits the counter, or hits the entertainment center. Like, hits the Roku hard. It doesn't unplug it, but it does knock it over, and it starts, like, banging around. So while the TV is, like, it's still playing, it's, like, making a big racket, and you've caught Avery's attention. And they are not mad at this point. You are cute. You are a cute enough cat that they're not mad at this moment. They're just really confused. So what happens now that you have their attention? You can make one more action of, like, you can either continue knocking out the Roku or just, like, try to keep them playing or whatever you want to do.
Ooh. This is tough. I don't know if I want to go for the Roku or try to mug for their attention. I want to take the Roku out.
Okay. So roll me another claws roll.
Mm-hmm.
Add your iron wall.
Okay.
And your laser smart.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. That is... Holy shit. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that was 5. Yeah, that was 5.
Oh my god, it's perfect. Yeah. The reason why I said... the iron wall comes down.
Good.
Which is to say, Mochi, I visualize it as just, like, hopping off the table.
Yeah.
And literally just letting Mochi's weight, like, knock the Roku out.
That's what I was picturing.
He just plops down on top of the Roku.
He does that toddler slump like 2-year-olds having a temper tantrum where they just collapse.
Yeah. Oh, side note, and I'm leaving this in because it's cat-themed. Our cat Cleo did that. We got a harness for Cleo. Uh-huh. To take her out for walks because she's always looking outside. We put the harness on her and she just 100% like dead weighted.
No!
And she's like, nope, I'm laying on my side. I'm not doing it.
No! I can picture it so clearly. Yeah,
just like
yeah, Napoleon does. We call it the toddler slump.
That's a good way to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he'll do that if you try to pick him up. He'll just slip out of your hands and like melt. Yeah,
I'm not moving.
No. So I think Mochi is... I probably should have... Actually, wait. Yeah, I did give him a +1 in Iron Wall as my 7th.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's real...
I think that's exactly what happens. Roku gets disconnected. The heavy... You hear the hiss, and you hear, "No! I'm starving!" As Avery, again, more confused, because what the hell is my cat doing? Like, picks up the Roku and makes sure it's not broken, plugs it in. It initially doesn't work when they plug it in. Like, it gives them it gives them an error message of like HDCP not recognized, so they have to turn it off and turn it back on. And it turns into an it turns into a long enough thing that by the time they get it working, they're like, I don't even feel like watching Daredevil. It's really dark. I kind of just, you know what, I should probably do some job hunting. It'll get my mind off of this whole situation.
Yes.
So you hear the screaming hiss, and it withers away, and as your tail spikes up, you see the webs start to hiss and sizzle and dissolve.
That's right.
The boggin, like, just melts into shadow and is gone.
Yeah.
And Mochi has saved Avery from the boggin.
Yeah.
And the day is saved.
Hooray. All in a day's work.
All in a day's work for the little hero that is a cat.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's game.
Woo! We did it.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I love this game.
This is really good. I would definitely play this again sometime. No, it's
oh, absolutely.
It's built for like parties, right? Like
yeah, it's built for like multiple cats, yeah. But it plays really well with just one cat.
No, it's like this worked beautifully with just one. But I think it'd be really fun to try it with a party of maybe like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Something. Yeah, I could see it being it feels like it would be fun with like a gang of cats.
Yeah. What do you call it? I should know this, but what do you call a collection of cats?
A herd? Is it a herd? Is it a pack, maybe?
Yeah, a parliament, perhaps?
Parliament, yeah.
A murder?
Murder of cats.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like it's probably some some bullshit
I
word.
just call them the Aristocats, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's more accurate.
That was so much fun. Kasey, thank you so much for coming on Party of One.
Thank you.
That was great.
This has been a joy.
It was great. So let's do some social media plugs before we log off.
One more thing. Can I tell you?
Absolutely.
A group of cats is called a clowder.
A clowder?
CLOWDER.
Wow.
Okay, sorry. We can get back to housekeeping.
No, that's amazing. I had no idea.
To save us some tweets because you know somebody else.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So, social media.
Yep.
On your Twitter.
Yep. If you do want to tell me that I am wrong about cat groups, or any of the other stuff, like looking at my dream.
Charleston Shoes.
If you want to send me like a coupon or something, I am Space Case on Twitter. That's space as in outer space, and then case with a K. So Space Case. You can find HustleCat on hustlecatgame.com and Winters in Lavelle at wintersinlavelle.com.
Fantastic. Kasey, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can give all the wrap-up stuff.
Thanks, Fast Me. And thanks again to Kasey for coming on the show. That was amazing. If you want to check out what happens to Avery next, be sure to check out HustleCat, available on Steam, itch.io, and hustlecatgame.com right now. Also, make sure you follow Kasey on Twitter at SpaceCase and DateNighto on Twitter at DateNighto. You can also follow Party of One on Twitter at Party of One Pod, like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/partyofonepodcast, and if you really enjoyed the show, consider giving us a nice review on iTunes. But really, if you like the show, the best thing that you can do is tell a friend, no matter how you choose to do that. I can't put into words how much I appreciate when people recommend the show to people they like. Party of One is produced by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank and edited by Jeff Stormer. Music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran, featuring the D&D Sluggers. Until next time, pretty kitties, thanks for listening, and remember, oh Spot, the complex levels of behavior you display connote a fairly well-developed cognitive array. And though you are not sapient and do not comprehend, I nonetheless consider you a true and valued friend.